Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 2, Episode 20, Episode 4 of the part. We're getting right into this. They just made contact and it's gonna be, you know, we don't know what's gonna happen. I predict that there's gonna be the rumbling happening. They're gonna maybe go through their past, some connected memories, see each other's trauma or something, and I think that at the end of this, some rumbling is gonna be taking place. What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know, but I'm scared. It could kind of go any way right now, and there's only one way to find out.
Indeed. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get the uncut reactions for these episodes. Let's go! Yep. Flashback time. Grisha. Nationalism.
So Zeke's like controlling this
Yeah, he said he'll
here,
save him no matter what. Well, is he controlling it or is he just showing things that he hadn't seen? I wonder. Oh, he's gonna, yeah, so he's starting here, but he's like, but how did he get here? What do you think of that guy? But Eren has seen a decent amount of his dad's memories already, but he hasn't seen Zeke's. Who's this? Oh, just treating people? Is he begging? Oh, get close with power.
Find out how everything
gather
works
information.
and where everyone is.
Because he's a better doctor than literally anyone in the walls could ever be, because he had modern medicine. Or modern for the time, obviously. Exactly. No, it's not a believe. He's just like, great. Okay, I see it. Yeah. My mind has changed. You win. Like, Grisha, it's not. I don't think that was legit. Hana-san. Kenny. Whoa. Oh, was he treating the king there? I didn't realize who was on the bed. Was that Rod? Oh,
that's the other
That's
one
Uri.
Who
it must have been Uri.
dying.
He was Kenny's best bud, yeah. The one that was dying,
Yeah.
the previous Titan guy, right before he changed.
Oh, and then this is probably how he knew it was time, because he was, like, dying.
Yeah, exactly, because he just ate Uri. That's cool. That's super interesting. That makes complete sense. He looks way younger here, like, and more, unsure.
Still years away. Oh.
He hesitated. What do you think of that? There's Jiku.
Just didn't.
He's not an unfeeling, uncaring monster, but he is definitely a selfish guy. But doesn't mean that he wasn't grappling with that decision. Oh, he's seeing a different side. He's seeing. He only
actually proving himself.
He only
wrong.
saw the selfish spite, but now he's seeing. He saw just a flicker of hesitation when he was scolding him when he was a kid. Nothing like he did. Well,
I think it's just making him feel worse.
he also has more freedom here, so he had, you know, he was incognito. He wasn't living in a concentration camp. But he still remembered his old family.
Whoa.
reconnected with the paths of the Attack Titan for just a second. Holy shit.
I love now Eren is
yeah, now
running
he's
the
leading.
show.
Okay. Memories of the future. We're gonna be going through the past, and then we're gonna reconnect to where we're right now. They're gonna be watching themselves, watching everything, and then it's gonna go right past it. Maybe this is evidence for like the first king's ideology being better than it seems to Eren. Yeah. Zeke. He didn't change. This is so interesting to show the difference between them. Zeke has really struggled with everything that's been going on, but Eren has in his own way, but he's way more convicted. Yeah, in a way. Spiteful. Oh. Father and son playing with a ball as soon as he starts talking about him. Was this the day? The day he left? I mean, that's why he was so, like, he seemed really different this morning. Like, the first episode, it was kind of foreboding. Shot for shot remake, grabs his ear. Ear's red again, that means he has something to hide. A patient? They did this like shot for shot. I think they traced over the original scene in the anime. Yeah, he asked him. He asked him, and he answered. That's crazy. That hit him so hard. That hit him so... That cut really deep. This is definitely traced over the original. That's just from season 1. They're looking at each other.
Oh, whoa, that's cool.
He keeps seeing visions of it's his memories of the future. That's what it's talking about. This is when he, oh, that's when he did it? I guess it is when he did it.
Yeah.
Frida. I wonder if Frida sees them.
I wonder.
Did Frida see them? I mean, Frida wasn't Frida by that point, I guess. Purple eyes. Flash him. Flash those purple king eyes. Purple king eyes. We haven't heard this speech. We just know she refused.
From the other side.
Yeah. Well, he saw it from within his father. Oh, shit. Eren is not happy.
No.
He feels Eren's rage. He like looked over at him. He felt his presence. Why is he so shocked? Never disobeyed orders. Oh, only the Attack Titan can? Wait, what?
I thought that was just a...
I thought that was a Titan royal blood thing, and I thought... He's... What? Is this? Wait. Is whoa. Wait, what? Wait, what? Rod, shut the fuck up. Is the past changing? Or wait, or no, she did it first. Oh, is he talking to him? Cool it there, Mikasa. Eren. Eren.
Jesus Christ.
Eren! It's not the end. Holy shit, Eren! What the fuck is your plan, dude?
No, apparently it was you.
This is when he saw it, when he kissed Astoria's hand when she became queen, is that it? What if that's when he like took control? Is this like TV censorship? They're like putting pillars in front of shit? Oh my god, Eren. Yeah. You like reached into the past and like, I guess that's what turned the tide was the Attack Titans. Holy fuck.
But it's like that weird thing of like...
The causality loop.
Yeah.
Cyclical nature. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, man. He still thinks Carl is alive. Oh my goodness. Grisha was not the heartless bastard you assumed he was when you were 5 years old. He saw Eren's memory? He sees him. Is Eren changing the path? Like changing? Is this a vision or is this like?
Is this real? But because
I think it is. I think no. I think it's. This is what actually happened. What do you think now, there, Zeke? What happened to that conviction? Now that Grisha's crying on your shoulder and begging for your forgiveness, are you still determined? Battle of Wills.
Oh my god.
Of course.
What a scam of an episode. It seemed like it was 5 minutes long.
Eren
I know!
He just keeps surprising me with his brutality, man. Oh my god. There's no reluctance or... oh my god. I think the more we see, the more I'm convinced that, like, he is, like, I don't know, he could surprise you, but, like...
I know, I'm like, is there gonna be some sort of twist that it's like that thing where you know what needs to happen in the past to cause the future to happen, so you have to,
That's not a twist, that's just what happened.
No,
that's not a twist.
No, and then but he, I don't know.
He affected Grisha's actions through the power of the paths, if everything we're seeing is legit, and it's not some sort of, like, I have the Founding Titan and the Attack Titan, the power of, like, seeing into the future and the Founding Titan. Also, we don't know if that's actually true or if that's just what Grisha thinks. It must be true. But it's, you know, we don't, you never know. There's so much fake knowledge in history, and the fact that Frida didn't know that being connected to the Founding Titan, I don't know, it gets confusing, but
I feel like
I'm gonna assume for now that's legit, that all of the Attack Titans have been, you know, running the longest con in history to get to the point where they could overthrow the status quo.
Yeah, it's also, it could be just, yeah, I guess it must just be the Attack Titan, because we've seen, like, the memory transfer thing, but only ever of past events from other people. Like, we know that other people have had different experiences with the paths and the previous Titans that came before them, but never...
That's not true. Not like, overtly. We haven't seen, like oh, I'm seeing the future right now.
No, I'm saying the past. We've never seen anyone see the future.
We have, but subtly, not overtly. We saw in episode 1, Eren clearly was seeing images of the future. In the first scene where he's having a dream and he wakes up and he's crying. And
other than the Attack Titan.
And when Eren Kruger, the guy who had the Attack Titan before Grisha, saved Grisha, he's like, you have to protect Eren, Mikasa and Armin. And then Grisha's like, Mikasa and Armin? Who the fuck are Mikasa and Armin? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, huh? I don't know. And then he looks out to the sunset and he's like, as if looking out to the paths, and he's like, I don't know, but maybe you'll meet them someday or something like that. So I think that I think that's true. I think that the power of the Attack Titan, I don't think that there's a switcheroo there or some sort of misunderstanding.
No, I'm not saying there was.
I'm just like concluding that. So okay, this is like Eren. It's convincing me more and more that, like, I think I said something last episode about, like, is he just the guy of, you know, is it a survival of the fittest kind of mentality, or more like, you know, it's not my fault that they're preventing me from being free? It's like, my want to be free is not so grand, is not so greedy that, like, I'm the one who's at fault for wanting a basic right of existence. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if I'm not asking too much and you're still denying, and you're still not even just denying me, it's not like anybody has the key to his freedom. It's something that you need to seek. But if people are actively, if a force or a person is actively preventing me from my basic existence, then it's not my fault for retaliating. And so it's not my fault for, you know, coercing my past father to kill innocent children and leave only their father alive. The most horrible thing. Like, he was a father, and he killed everyone in their family, left the father alive. Like, that's like one of the most horrific things you could do. like, just the idea of that. I don't know. It's just, man. Like, and the fact that Eren is like, he's so resolute. He has come out the other side of his suffering with, like, he came out the other side of his suffering to where he started. Like, the more knowledge he, like, it's like, have you ever seen that picture? You might not have. It's like a meme kind of picture of like, it's like there's 4 people and they're sort of standing on piles of books. It's like one person standing on nothing, and then he sees like sunlight or in like a normal world, and then a guy is standing on a couple books, and then he's like looking at the clouds, and then the guy's standing on more books, and then he sees like a dark, like horrible, like burned out, like nuked city or something, and then you go further, and then you see like above the clouds, and this beautiful thing. He basically went full circle, where he started out as resolute as he is now with no information as an 8-year-old boy, and then grew up, and through more suffering, through watching people die and all the horrors in front of him, he faltered a little bit, but kept going, knowing that it was kind of right, but still regretting and not really knowing if he's the right person for the job, if he's just a bystander. And then he kept going. And then eventually he came back around to, like, having all the knowledge, having all the memories, having every piece of information that you can have. He came to the same conclusion that a fucking 8-year-old came to of, but I want it. And I don't blame him. Like, as he's not, I guess he's not technically wrong. It's just like the reality of this mindset is fucked, considering what everyone else has to go through. Because it's not, at this point, it's not, he's fighting for his own freedom, from what I understand, but it has more to do with other people. It's not just about him. Yeah. And I'm not saying he's selfish. Again, like the what he's fighting for, with his philosophy and the way that I understand it, it's not necessarily wrong. But it is fucked up to watch unfold. But I just don't know if it's, I don't know if it's right, but it's not wrong. You know, to want freedom, to because it's not, again, it's not like he's asking for a lot. But then when he is talking about like, oh, well, I'll just kill like, you know, kill them all basically of anyone out there, then it's like, you know, it's the same thing of like, oh, if they're, like you're saying, if they're actively preventing his freedom, then what he does in retaliation is like justified. Fine. Not only justified, but I don't think he cares if it is.
Yeah, but then it's like all the other people who are just like literally not, are just like random people, you know what I mean? They're just hanging out, they're just chilling, but they're benefiting from his like entrapment.
Yeah.
So it's like it's
also like, yeah, it's a discussion of like individualism versus collectivism in a way, but it's so interesting and kind of funny, and it's really comical looking back at the start of this episode when Zeke's just like, and you've been brainwashed by your father's sense of...
He's like the ghost of Christmas past out here, like...
Well, it's just the reversal throughout the episode is so great to watch, because it's so interesting that like Eren the whole time is like, are you done yet? Let me show you what the real fucking score is. You don't know anything. You think you're gonna walk me through my past that I've already seen? I've seen all of this. You're gonna act like, you know, you're showing me shit that I don't fucking know. You have no idea what you're in for. You have no idea who the fuck I am.
Yeah, this is all about just Zeke being like...
that line of like, you've been brainwashed, and, you know, I'll show you the depths of your nationalism, or whatever he said. He's just like, Eren doesn't give a fuck about national pride. You think he gives a fuck? I don't think he really cared when he was a kid about national pride. Even when he was a cadet, I don't think he cared about national pride. He doesn't give a fuck about that. Yeah. Like, just like how, not smug, but like that, it's a good word to describe what I'm saying. How like assured Zeke was going into this, of like, I'll show you the truth, I'll save you, I'll do this. Acting like Eren's just a fucking idiot.
Knew about Grisha was like, Zeke literally was brainwashed as a kid. He was like, he was like hyper controlled, forced into like one direct lane. This is your life forever. Yeah. You're a pawn for us to use however we want. So it makes sense that Zeke would be like, oh, I have broken free from my father's ideals. I have like seen the other side and I know what's best. But Eren, he must have had the same treatment as me. It just led him to a different outcome. But if we can like find where it was, and he can see it from the outside, then he'll agree with me.
Right.
But so it makes a lot of sense. But he just didn't know.
Well, in a way, Zeke. Yeah. Well, exactly. He didn't know because he's just as Zeke is exactly like Grisha. He ended up turning exactly into Grisha, where Grisha was like all wrapped up in, oh, my father, this or that, my parents didn't fight, my sister got eaten, this and all this shit, and he's just a piece of shit who doesn't fucking understand it. I know the truth, I'm gonna save the world, I know this. And then he grows up and then realizes how fucked up everything is, and he gets humbled and he's just like, he still goes through with everything that he was gonna do, but at the end he's like, Zeke, stop Eren, stop him, please. And like, it's in that moment where you realize like it came full circle. Zeke went down the exact same path that Grisha did. It was just the pendulum swinging. Instead, he was just on Marley's side, doing the exact same shit. Zeke, from the inside, like Grisha, attacked the higher ups and like pulled a coup and stole their power, and is now trying to go against like the country, you know, that they were in. And it's crazy how full circle it went with them. I don't know, man. There's so much going on here. Again, so well written. Like, I don't know when's the last time I watched a show this well written. I don't know. It's so good. Like, we're never gonna get another fucking show like this, I swear to God.
Yeah, it's also like you were saying how Eren has kind of come around. We got a couple of flashes of him, of like child Eren, and his like crazy, his face all like
fish-eyed and everything. Yeah.
So they're like a visually showing that as well, which is kind of cool. Like the same like crazy, out of control, but like dead set kind of.
Well, we start the episode, or not start. We like halfway through the episode go to when he killed those two guys and convinced Mikasa to kill the other one. They were, and it's interesting. Like on that scene, it's an interesting scene. It works perfectly with from the perspective of like these modern episodes. But I remember watching season 1 when there was just season 1 out, and like watching reactions of other people or showing it to people, and then that was that Mikasa episode where it goes to her past and shows Eren saving her. That was the episode where everyone's like, holy shit. Like, that's the first time where you're really like, I mean, it's after Eren gets eaten, but like, it's always the time where you're like, what the fuck is going on in this show? Like, there's two things. It's like, one, this is so fucked and weird.
Yeah. They're
talking about fucking this like 9-year-old girl and selling her to the slave trade, like human trafficking shit. First of all. Second of all, it also at the time felt kind of like overly edgy, or like kind of out of place considering the rest of like the way the rest of the story was going to like go from all these Titan battles to like, why is this like edgy 9-year-old knife murdering all these grown men? Like, isn't this kind of fucking weird? Like, it just strikes as a kind of like, this is a big tone shift. But like, it's one of those things that's set up early on in the series that is so exemplary of Eren's character. It's so interesting that we're looking back at that scene now after all of this, and he's saying like, yeah, when people try to take my freedom away, they fucking die. Because, it's not my fault that people are trying to keep me caged. It's not, my freedom is what I want, and why should I have to suffer without being free? Like, why do I have to accept that? Why is it my job to accept that I'm not free when I have the strength to take it? And not only that, like, maybe everyone else who isn't free and who just accepts that they're fucking, he's full Sigma at this point, black pilling the whole world, but he's just like, why is it my fault that, or I guess then it's your fault if you want to stay caged, if you want to stay a prisoner, if you don't have the strength to go for your freedom, then that's on you. But I'm not gonna let it be on me. I'm gonna go for whatever I fucking need to. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I feel so bad for Grisha. It's just brutal.
The hesitation. The fact that he was like, yeah.
I also, then after this, he just gives it to Eren probably mostly because he just wanted to fucking die at that point and, like, knew that Eren got it eventually. And it was just, like, this whole big fucking, I don't know, it's just, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, like, originally, it's, like, you think it's all part of his, like, master plan, but it turns out he didn't really have that. He was kind of going on, like, weird, like, future knowledge, random Eren forcing him to do shit, just trying to go there and, like, work out a deal. Come on, please help. I have a family. No? Okay, I'm gonna, like, try to threaten you, but I literally just can't. And it's just, like, I don't know. It's just really fucked.
When, first of all, Eren going beside him like Mikasa did to him in the Annie confrontation. In the anime, by the way, wasn't even in the manga. This shot, like, you remember this? Where, like, where Eren can't transform, they're underground, and they're, like, trying to capture Annie. And then he's like, biting his hands over and over, and he can't do it. And she's just like, you know why you're here, right? It's because Annie's the female Titan, but you haven't accepted that. That's why you can't transform, because back then it was a big thing that, like, you need to have a thing in mind before you transform, a specific task. So they're recreating that. That wasn't even in the manga, but it's a cool callback nonetheless. But what was I gonna say? I wonder if, from a writing perspective, I wonder if this thing with Eren, with, like, the whole thing of Eren convincing Zeke to go through with it, I wonder how planned that was. I never got the inkling. I got the inkling that he was hesitant, but I wonder if this specific... I think the thing of Eren, like, influencing the past and all that stuff, I think that was probably planned from the very beginning. I think that was likely... You know, this was always meant to happen. I think that the series was written with this in mind. But I don't know if this specific encounter was planned from the beginning. I never got, when I was reading those chapters in the manga, when I was watching the series like a million times, I never got the impression that, like, there was real hesitation and, like, you know, Grisha, like, barely went through with it. It could just be, like, managing information, but I'm just wondering. I don't know if it was or was not. It would take probably another close reading of the manga to really determine if this specific thing was planned, like this specific encounter and conversation between Grisha and Eren was fully planned. But whether it was or it wasn't, it feels like it was, because it, you know, I think that the whole idea of it was clearly planned from the beginning. But whether or, you know, I don't know. Well, I'd be interested to go back and reread all the times that we'd seen this scene in the manga and in the anime to see if there were the seeds planted of Grisha, like, gave up for a second, maybe like a scalpel tinks on the ground or something like that, and then all the shit goes down. And it, like, sometimes little frames like that can take on new meaning, or, you know, have the meaning put into them, but you don't really know until you know. So it'll be, I can't wait to go back and read all those scenes in the manga to determine that. But yeah, this whole episode, really good, really good episode. Really good episode. Great show. I think next episode we're getting into the real shit.
I have literally no idea what's gonna happen.
I still don't know if there's another turn for Eren.
I know, I'm like, you know? Maybe there's gonna be that's what I'm saying. Like, this, he seems like this, and he is like this.
If we're taking,
but there's like another little. It's like that conversation with Armin and Mikasa of where he's like, oh, like, I fucking hate you, get out of my sight. But we're like, oh, he's saying that because it's what needs to be said.
Yeah.
But there's the underlying thing because he's still is a person, and even though he's going like full mass murderer robot dude here and purposefully causing all this shit, he has like prepared for this and knows about it. Yeah. But he
if he can
still
see the
has
future.
His own feelings, but he knows how it ends up. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if we do get that little. Even if it's when he's dying or some shit at the end, and we see like.
I mean, he's still dying right now.
Yes,
he's dead. He's dying right now. He's a head
dying
in Zeke's hand.
But he could do whatever he wants before that moment, because he has forever in this other world.
Yeah.
So
yes,
I don't know.
I don't know either. But I do. I also wonder if there's still another turn. I still think the idea that he's going to like somehow erase Titans from the world. I mean, if we're taking the OP with any amount of credence, which we should at this point, he starts the rumbling probably next episode.
Yeah.
And like, what does that mean? What does that mean to him? Is that a good thing, or is that just a means to an end because he needs to release all the Titans before he can like kill all the Titans or revert them back, or I guess probably not revert them back, but kill them, kill the colossal Titans that are within the walls, and and remove the Titan abilities from all the Eldians.
I do kind of wonder, because so there technically, I guess there could be a way to remove the bodies. So if what's her face is Ymir is just chilling in there making all the Titan bodies. If we could like get rid of her or like force her to never make another Titan body, would people they wouldn't be able to turn to Titans anymore because she didn't make their Titan body?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. It's the keys are all there.
Is that an option? I feel like it should be.
I think there are options. Well, if that was an option, I think the first king would probably have.
But the first king was all about, like, atonement. We need to atone, we need to, like, be in punishment. Yeah. And if we get killed, then that's good because we deserve it.
Yeah, but then why didn't they just kill them all, you know? And it's, when you're dealing with time travel and, like, seeing futures and past, then it adds a new context. So, like, if the first king knew about all of this, perhaps, then it changes kind of the way that all of this is
also the first king like was before there was this thing where when you are the royal family you inherit his will and shit like that, because obviously it was his will. He was like one dude, and now it's been basically the same dude for the past however long. Yeah, you know, so he could have just had he had his own idea of what it was and maybe didn't consider all options. Maybe he didn't, you know.
I wonder if we'll meet the first king.
Know.
I wonder if we'll meet the first king in this, like, before we trigger the rumbling or something.
I wonder if we can without, like...
coming under his will?
Yeah.
We just saw Ymir, so...
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but it'll, like, I feel like Eren's got one more turn in him, one more babyface turn. And I think it will be the sacrifice thing, but you know, you never know with him because this. But is the answer to the whole series? Like, I guess that's what you have to divert to a meta, you know, understanding of it. Is like, are we really about to accept that, like, like, even if in the context of like Armin and Mikasa and Jean and Connie and all those guys are now back on Eren's side and defending him and fighting for him. Are they fighting for a guy who would sacrifice them all just for his own freedom? Like, is that the moral that we're getting from all this? Is the moral we're getting from all of this, think like an 8-year-old and life will handle all of its problems? I don't think so. I think that there's another sacrificial sort of thing brewing here. I think that it'll have its own classic Isayama twist to it. But I think that I think Eren's got one more little wrinkle left in his old scheme here.
Like previously, you had talked about like him being like kind of the one responsible.
Lightning rod, yeah.
And if he's literally basically in the past influencing all this crazy shit, then he is literally kind of the one person responsible. Even if other people like Grisha technically killed the royal family, but Eren like hyped him up and made him do it. So it's even more is falling onto him at this point. Even shit that happened when he was a kid, you know. So that's also interesting.
Yeah.
In going with that like idea.
Yeah. So well, I guess we just gotta wait till next week to see the rumbling. Rumbling is coming. Man.
I feel also bad for Zeke. This is just a traumatized. He like realizes his dad was a good guy, realized Eren is even more of a monster than he thought.
But also realizes that, you know, it was, like we said earlier, it's his ghost of Christmas future, or ghost of Christmas past coming back to haunt him,
yeah.
basically. he's the whole, I love the conceit of that. The conceit of this entire encounter is like, Eren, I'm your big brother. I'm going to save you. I'm going to convince you of the truth. He goes back and then he's like, wait, so everything I knew was wrong and everything that I thought about my dad was wrong, and he spent his entire life missing us, his real family, and he, you know, loved Eren and everything, but in the end, he didn't. He was terrified of him and thought he was a fucking monster and wished that he could just be with Dinah and me. He spent his entire life with that photo on his desk in the cellar, like, you know, wishing that things could be different, hoping that, you know, one day he could see him again, like seeing him in his dreams, dreaming of him, even if it was like the paths thing connecting. He was in his thoughts constantly. Yeah. And he never forgot his family. He always had them on his mind. And like for Zeke, just the sort of perspective change of this whole thing is hilarious. It's like a black comedy kind of hilarious. Like it's just so tragic, but that it's so funny. It's so tragic that it's funny, is what it is. Which is a lot of Attack on Titan. But I guess we can close it out there. So.
I can't wait till next week. I'm even more scared for next week.
Me too. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to see the uncut reaction to this and all previous episodes, and possibly see the uncut reaction before it comes out here on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed most of all. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.